live in Danville to begin our debate coverage at noon. A beautiful day there in the city, Bill.
Oh. You said it. Good day to you, Stacy, and hello, everybody, from right in front of the Norton Center, which is the venue for tonight's debate. We're in Danville, a quaint, all-American city, the geographic center of Kentucky, and the center of the political world for today. It's a beautiful place to put democracy on display today. And the candidates, they're getting ready too. Republican vice presidential candidate Paul Ryan is already in Kentucky ahead of tonight's debate. And of course, one of the questions I've been asked over and over and over is, can I go to the debate? Well, WKYT anchor Amber Philpott is with us now, and you'll be here for the coverage throughout the day. The answer to that question is probably not, right?
No, but it is the hottest ticket in town, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You know, we're both Kentuckians. What a great way to showcase our home place, you know?
Beautiful place, and you know, the tourism people even came by and they said there's only one Kentucky and there's only one vice presidential debate. And as you said, it is a hard ticket to get.
That's right. And speaking of, some students really wanted to get in, and yesterday they had their chance.
A new poll out today shows the difference in the presidential campaign could be a gender gap. And a former Republican presidential candidate makes a stop in Kentucky tonight. WKYT's Bill Bryant has the bottom line.
Good evening. The candidates for president are holed up and studying hard for tomorrow night's first debate of the 2012 campaign. And a new poll out today shows a gender gap as a key reason President Obama is leading in most national polls. The Quinnipiac University poll shows the president holds an 18-point advantage over Republican Mitt Romney among women. They make up half the electorate. The nationwide numbers were Obama 56% to Romney's 38% among women. Now, on the other hand, men back Romney by about 10 points. It was a large sample of 1,912 likely voters who were contacted by both cell phones and landlines. Former Republican presidential candidate Mike Huckabee, the former governor of Arkansas and a Fox TV talk show host, is in Kentucky this evening, and he'll be back for the weekend. He's at Somerset Christian School this evening, but Huckabee will return to the Commonwealth over the weekend. He'll headline a fundraiser for House Republicans who are hoping to pick up 10 seats in the November election. That would give them control of the state house for the first time in 91 years. And there will be more coming up on the CBS Evening News in just a little bit about today's court ruling that blocks Pennsylvania from putting a new voter ID law in place. Democrats say the requirement was a ploy to cost President Obama votes. Republicans say the law requiring a photo ID was to prevent voter fraud. That's today's bottom line. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
This is Kentucky Newsmakers with Bill Bryant.
Hello there from WKYT News. I'm Bill Bryant, hoping your weekend is going well. A busy program today before the November election. The independent candidate for Congress in Central Kentucky is here, Randolph Vance. We'll talk about his low-budget but focused effort to try to win away the votes from Democrat Ben Chandler and Republican Andy Barr. Candidate Vance coming up in just a few minutes. But first, Kentucky Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes is here. She says the Commonwealth is ready to run an election that will likely see record turnout. The huge snowfall last week in eastern Kentucky presented some challenges. Her team is confident it can overcome all of that. We'll try to answer your questions about the election today with Secretary of State Grimes, and we welcome her. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Bill, for having me.
We'll point out you are a Democrat. You're appearing today in your nonpartisan role as Kentucky Secretary of State. I want to begin there just very quickly. Is that difficult to do? This is going to be the case up and down across this country this week. There are partisan elected Secretary of State or chief elected election officials who will have to be overseeing these races. How do you set that aside?
Well, obviously, I was elected in a partisan manner, but when you put on the Secretary of State hat, you serve as the chief election official, and I think Kentuckians need and want and deserve to have an individual that they can trust, that regardless of your political affiliation is encouraging all Kentuckians to have their voice heard, and most importantly, making sure that every vote counts, again, regardless of political affiliation. And it's something that I strive to do because I think Kentuckians want to make sure that they have someone that they can trust is making the calls, but not trying to play in the game at the same time.
As the storm of the, we call them all the storm of the century, but this was really huge that went up to the East Coast, and it caused tremendous snow in eastern Kentucky. And I know there have been questions about whether all of the polling places are going to be capable and ready on Tuesday. You say that they are.
We have been monitoring the conditions associated with Superstorm Sandy.
Hello there from WKYT 27 News First. I'm Bill Bryant. As a heat wave takes hold this weekend, stay in the cool and we'll catch up on what's happening this summer in Lexington. One council member is warning that retirement and disability payments could break the city in a few years if something isn't done or something doesn't give. We'll ask the mayor about that and discuss some cuts that are in place right now. There's been an agreement reached to curtail the home fleet plan for the police department. Some concerns have been raised about staffing at the fire department, even with new hiring that's going on because of some retirements and departures. We'll ask about that. Summertime means the pools and the parks are open for the season. And this week, the mayor and some other community leaders announced some activities they hope will keep young folks on the right path this summer. Oh, and then Lexington is in full swing preparing for the big 4th of July festivities as well. It goes on for several days. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray here with us on this Memorial Day weekend, and we welcome you and thanks for coming.
Bill, great to be here.
Let's start just for a second with this, the heat, which is oppressive this weekend. We're getting into that right now. What steps does the city take to kind of monitor that situation, be prepared to deal with any heat emergencies that may come up? We've seen situations where kids are left in cars. Emergency responses are sometimes very needed in a situation like this.
Well, of course, I think there's a higher awareness these days. In fact, much of it can be attributed to the news media because you guys are very aware and continuously you are alerting us as to weather conditions. So you think about it in that respect, and we're more alert these days. We're more aware of these kinds of conditions.